Hi, this is GunNut226 with another video review, folding knife variety. Today we're looking at this MTech Emergency Rescue Knife. Why did I buy this knife? I bought this knife because I really like emergency rescue knives, and I have a bunch. I've done some reviews on the Smith & Wesson, the Jeep, the Humvee, maybe another one or two that I don't remember right now. But I like these emergency rescue knives for a couple reasons. One reason is that I commute. I used to commute a long way to work, and I still commute a fair distance. So this glass breaker, if I got in an accident, might really come in handy, and/or the seatbelt cutters that are with most of these emergency rescue type knives. So the combination of the two really make for why I like these emergency rescue knives, and I'm really trying to find a good one so I can stick with. I haven't really found, let's say, a high quality emergency rescue knife that I would want to carry all the time. The Smith & Wesson is really nice, but it's a little too big. The Humvee had issues with the handle. The Jeep has issues just because of traction, and the one that doesn't have issues with traction with the camo inlay is a little bit heavy. So I'm looking for something, I'm probably going to have to end up paying like $50, $60, $70 for one instead of getting one of these $20, $12 ones that you can just pick up anywhere. But until that point, I'm taking a look at these, and I'm going to share my experience that I've had with them with a larger audience, so you can get the benefit from my experience in my search for a really good emergency rescue knife that I can really depend and rely on, basically my life and my family's life on, if the situation arises. So this is my latest attempt at finding a high quality knife. Not really successful, but we'll get into that in a little bit here. First off, MTech USA knife. As you would think, MTech USA would be made in the USA. However, they are not. You can see here on the blade, if we can get the camera to focus, that it is a USA design. However, the blade is handcrafted in China. It is a 440 stainless steel. However, it is not that good of a stainless steel, I'll tell you right now. It must be a 440A stainless steel, if that, and they don't heat treat it very well. I've had a couple minor issues with this knife. Tried to repair it. You can see here on the blade itself. It's not real super high quality. The grind's okay. Could be better, especially up here at the tip. Not really sure if it's going to show up on camera very well, but we'll see if we can get this guy to focus. Anyway, I've had some issues up around this area. Let me get another knife out here, and up in this area is mainly where the knives get used. I don't know if you can really see that I've had some issues in this general vicinity, and I've tried to sharpen them out, and not the best experience I've had with this blade. So it is a softer steel. I guess you can expect that for where we're at with the price point. Let's take a look at the blade length. Let's see. I've measured this before, so we'll take a look at it again. We are about 3 1/4 inches or so for the blade length, and the handle itself is about 4 1/2 or so. So not terribly bad. It's a good size knife. Like I said before, blade steel could be improved upon a lot. But overall, If you keep an edge on it, it might not roll on you, or you might not damage it if you're careful with it. But I like to use my knives kind of hard. So this guy is probably just going to go into my pile of junk knives that I have, go into my collection that I just keep around. It's not going to be part of my prize collection by any means. As far as speed goes, there's a couple ways to deploy this knife. You got this, the flipper, which is actually pretty nice. And then you got these thumb studs. They're ambidextrous. Not bad. They made them just long enough to, since they didn't really cut a lot of relief in here, it could be a much better design. You can see they cut a relief in, but it's not really functional. Your thumb does slide in there. They could have took maybe a little bit more off that relief and cut it back a little further and just made it a little bit better to get your thumb in there. Not really my preferred method for this. I like the flipper a whole lot better. Still needs wrist action, obviously. But the problem here is, with this side of the knife, the pocket clips gets in the way. So you are going to have a real tough time deploying this with this side of the thumb stud, with the pocket clip being in the way. So that's minus another point. Here we look in here, we can see that there's nylon bushings in there. Didn't expect anything more from this cheap price point, a cheap knife basically. Lockup strength is decent, no up and down play, some slight side to side play, and you can probably see it on camera too. So not the best. And it also has this, let's say, feature. It becomes very difficult to adjust this pivot point, which I have tried to do. Now, you can see here that I have tried to adjust this pivot point, and I've marred up the holes a little bit, because the metal is so darn soft. Like I was saying before, it might not... I'm really questioning if it's a stainless steel. I guess it is, but it's just not heat treated very well, and it's a really cheap stainless. Anyway, you can adjust the pivot. I've developed sort of a technique to use with a couple little screwdrivers. Haven't really found a tool yet, so if anybody knows of a tool, they can turn me onto it. I would really appreciate it. I know it's probably some kind of spanner wrench, but spanner wrenches that I've seen have diametrically opposed points, and that's not really this pattern. So it is some kind of specialty spanner of some sort. There's adjustable spanners, and that just doesn't work because they're 2 points that are diametrically opposed, and they slide in and out on a rail. So that's not really going to work out for this pattern. I've tried it. Doesn't work. So the best you can do, I did, was with 2 little screwdrivers to adjust the pivot, and it helps. On to the next point. I don't want to waste a lot of time with this knife, since it is not one of my not one of my favorite knives, one of the cheaper knives. Let's just get on with the review here. It is a, hold on, I'm in the wrong mode. Sorry about that. Those of you European viewers will like that grams reading. It's 3.796 ounces, so 3.8 ounces. Not terrible. It's actually pretty light for an emergency rescue knife. Overall, there's some emergency rescue knives out there that are quite hefty, up over 8 ounces, like that Smith & Wesson I was mentioning before, which actually will probably help you break the glass. This guy will probably still get the job done. Not real beefy or chunky, so you're not going to have a lot of momentum behind you to break that glass. Still probably want to wear a leather glove or wrap it in something if you can. Yeah, if you're emergency trying to get out of a vehicle, you just do what you can. Deal with the rest later. But So not a bad weight. The handle material here is, I think it's some kind of aluminum, or didn't find a lot of information on it on the internet. It might be like a glass-filled resin or whatever. Some of the cheaper knives have, like that Humvee that I had. It was like a glass-filled nylon or something like that. So these screws for the pocket screw might strip out eventually, similar to the Humvee emergency rescue knife I had. Not overly impressed with the grip on it. It's very slick, and the jimping that they put on the frame is pretty much worthless. It doesn't really grab your finger at all, your thumb. It just slides right across. Other than that, you can get a decent grip on it. Holds pretty well. Then again, we're seeing that the flipper acts as a little bit of a finger guard. So it does help in that aspect if you need to press this into tactical use, which I would really hope you wouldn't need to, because I don't know how it would perform. You could probably use it once and then throw it away. I do like the idea here of jimping up on the blade a little bit further. You can see that jimping. Normally the jimping would be back here on a blade or on the handle, but the jimping up here actually will let you get a little bit more fine. And if the jimping was functional, it's a great idea. Just the implementation that MTech used for the implementation of these is just poor, because it doesn't really give you any traction. If it dug into your finger, I mean, this would be a really nice little knife you can do a little bit more fine work with, and you'd have traction way up here on the blade. Haven't seen a whole lot of blades like that, and that really intrigued me. When I was in the store, I did find that in the store when I was looking at it, that it wasn't real super grippy. But even like my hands are a little bit sweaty now. It's just slick. So I would have a real problem holding on to this in emergency tactical use, or maybe even in trying to get out of the car if I'm all hot and sweaty, adrenaline's going, you're sweating all over. So it might be a little bit more difficult. The clip is actually, I really like the clip. That's another selling point of this knife, is the clip. Many of my other knives have this very similar clip. I bet they're made by the millions over there in China, and that's why, and they're probably real cheap, and that's probably why everybody uses them. I did find that the screw hole patterns and the screws that they use are all different, but the basic clip design is the same as like the Jeep and many of the other ones that I've reviewed in the past, because it has that really deep pocket carry, and I really do like that. One of the ways you can tell this is a cheaper knife is you can see here, right where the pocket is, right where it rides in the pocket, there's a lot of wear. And I'm pretty sure this is not any kind of special coating. It's not powder coating. It's not a powder coat. It's not anything special. It's not aluminized, or it's just probably black spray paint, is my best guess, is what they used. And that's why it's wearing off rather rapidly. But overall, I have not had a problem with this knife in too many aspects. Had a little problem with the blade. The grip could be improved upon. The pivot point is marginal. But get this, the price point for this knife on sale is $6.99. Now, there are a lot of cheap knives out there, but for $6.99, I wouldn't say it's a horrible buy. I wouldn't say it's a really super high value. I was saying if you have an extra $6 to blow and you want an emergency rescue knife and you can't really afford to buy a lot of things, this might be an option. I'm not really sure if I trust my life with it after I've been using it for 2-3 weeks, carrying it with me. And I've just said, okay, that's enough. I've made my judgment on this. I'm not going to carry it anymore. I'm going to rotate something else in its place. So I can get some more reviews out there, and hopefully some better quality knives, higher value than this MTech Emergency Rescue. So if you have any other questions or comments, please leave them below, or you can PM me. Other than that, thanks for watching.